So I've been using OpenClaw religiously for the past month or so. It's been awesome. I basically have a 24/7 chief marketing officer that's researching trends, my competitors, managing my website, writing blogs, YouTube videos, you name it. Total force multiplier on my content engine. The only issue I have is that he costs a fortune to run in Claude API calls. So I was super excited when Google decided to announce Gemma 4 as an open source model that you can actually host locally on like an old MacBook, or in this case, I'm actually going to host it on Vector's Mac Mini to be the brain for your OpenClaw agent. So in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how I set up the Gemma model locally on Vector's Mac Mini. So hopefully you don't have to pay those super expensive API calls, and you can actually have a very smart model running locally, completely free on either an old MacBook that you might have or any laptop, or on the exact same hardware that your OpenClaw agent is running on. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive into the video. Okay guys, all right, so let's get started. We're in Vector's Mac Mini. If you look in the top left, this is the Mac Mini the Vector is hosted on. So step number one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna download Olama. Olama is a platform that allows you to host and serve local SLMs and LLMs. You can do this on, like this example, I'm gonna do it on Vector's Mac Mini. You can do this on any old laptop. You can also do this in the cloud if you wanna spin up your own VPC or VPS. So in order to download Olama, you're gonna go to the Olama website. And if we go here to Olama, it'll give you a command that you can actually run in your terminal, or you can download the Olama Mac app. So you're gonna copy this command and then go to your terminal. I already have Olama installed. So I think this should probably just give me the updated version. Okay, cool. So now it's actually installing and now it's fully updated. So if we actually run this, it'll show you what models you can start downloading and chatting with in order to serve it. So we're gonna stop right here and we're actually gonna exit out of this. And what we're gonna do next is this is step two, we're gonna go and download Gemma 4 onto this Mac Mini. So if you come to models, you'll see all the most popular models that are available on Olama. Gemma 4 just released, so it's super popular, but you can actually use this to filter based on the type of model that you want to use. So if we click into Gemma 4, you'll see all these commands, you'll get some more information about the model and its capabilities. What we're going to do now is we're going to take this CLI command and we're going to copy it, and then we're going to go back to our terminal and then open a new window and then run this command. And now it's going to download and pull the manifest for the Gemma 4 model. Okay, cool. So it just downloaded very quickly. I've already had this installed. So, for context, that's why it took so long. When I did this initially, it took about like a minute and a half. And here you can actually start chatting with the model. One other thing, if you guys ever just want to use some of these open source models, what you can actually do is Olama does have this desktop app right here. And so you can actually go in here and actually pull the model itself and then say, name, and just start chatting with the model. One quick call out, if you do want the model to be able to search the internet, you click right here and then you have to create an Olama account, which I don't have. But this is a very quick way to get integrated. So now we have installed Gemma 4 and now we have a local model hosted on our Mac Mini. Next step is to actually connect OpenClaw and Vector to this open source model for it to be its brain. Now, in order to do that, OpenClaw and Olama make this super easy. So you can actually come down to here and you can see the exact command you can run. This is essentially launching the OpenClaw service, the gateway, and having it configure this model. So if we copy this command and we're gonna open up a new terminal and then run this, and then this will open up your OpenClaw with the Gemma 4 model. Now, this is broken almost every single time I've done it, transparently. So I'll show you guys exactly how I troubleshoot this. This has happened both for other open source models I've used, as well as whenever I need to shift models for some of the cloud APIs that I've used as well. I don't really have the patience or the know-how on how to fix this. So what I do here is whenever I do get this error saying that there's an allow list for tools, essentially what I do is I go and open a new terminal. I've got Codex authenticated on this machine, and I basically just take this error message and just copy it into this and just say fix this error for OpenClaw. And I basically just copy and paste this into Codex, and I let Codex run for a sec. So let's let it run, but this will actually go change the config files of my OpenClaw on this Mac Mini and fix it. So this is how I actually do basically like open heart surgery on OpenClaw on the Mac Mini. I just have a Codex agent actually being able to edit the files. But let's let this run, and then we'll actually see Gemma 4 in action. Okay, so now Codex has fixed this issue, and it's fixed this tool issue that I had in the OpenClaw config files. So what I'm gonna go here is actually run this command, OpenClaw gateway restart. And now our OpenClaw should be running with Gemma 4's. So there it is. So now there's no errors, and now we'll be actually running OpenClaw. So let's actually go into Telegram. That's how I actually use, that's what I use to talk to my OpenClaw agent. So let's dive in and see Gemma 4 in action. Before I do want to show what hardware Vector is running on. This is a Mac Mini with 16 gigs of memory, so not a very powerful machine. The trade-off that I'm making is that while this will be much less performant than if I use Sonnet or Opus, I will still be able to have high levels of intelligence for free. So I'm trading that performance for cost. And so my goal with this overall setup is that this open source model will always be running. It'll be free to run. And then on the back end, I can actually build agentic applications using the more powerful models like Opus or Codex 5.4 that my OpenClaw can use those applications to do specific jobs for my company. So anyway, I'll shut up now and let's actually see Vector and see how well he responds to now that his brain is using Gemma 4. So if we come into Telegram, this is how I usually talk to him. I'll say, hi Vector, can you come up with 2 blog ideas for this week? Now let's see how long it takes him to respond, and hopefully we haven't fully lobotomized him yet. Okay, so Vector finally responded. It took about 3 minutes for him to respond. But overall, I think the output was pretty good. You know, he understands that, you know, my business is focused on sales and go-to-market consulting. So he came up with 2 really good ideas for blog posts targeting specifically my ICP, which is Series A to Series C founders. It took about 3 minutes. But like I mentioned, right, like you're trading the performance and, you know, the inference time for cost. So this cost absolutely nothing for me to run outside of the Mac Mini that I spent. But eventually, you know, I spent a good amount of money last month using, you know, Claude and running those Claude API tokens. So I think this is a big win, and hopefully this will let me use OpenClaw in very interesting ways that were usually kind of cost prohibitive because I didn't want to, you know, pay an arm and a leg to Anthropic. All right, so that's the video for today. If you guys found value in it, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm going to be posting weekly about how I'm using AI and AI agents to really run a one-person startup powered completely by AI. I'm trying to punch well above my weight class. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff and see, you know, what's happening behind the scenes, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I'll try to answer them whenever I have time. But outside that, I'll see you guys in the next video and have a great rest of your day. See you guys.